Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our Monday update for July the 10th. There's a lot going on at the moment. In fact, wind directions today around New Zealand coming in from all directions. We've got a westerly flow moving into the west and the north. We've got an easterly flow for many of you in the east, a southerly around parts of Mahia Peninsula and Gisborne, and a northerly down around Fiordland. But the westerly change, that is the main feature coming in, blowing around Tasmania where rainfall is higher on the western side there. But generally speaking, Australia is quite settled thanks to a lot of high pressure at the moment. But let's take a look at this westerly flow coming in because it is a large westerly. It starts way over here in the Indian Ocean near Madagascar, dropping down as a westerly flow south of Australia and coming out into the New Zealand area. It is fueled by a series of highs, mostly up here to the north, and a number of lows down to the south, and that carries that westerly wind along into the New Zealand area. So that is not overly cold. Sideways winds, they're usually no big temperature change, but there could be a southerly, or there is going to be a southerly, I should say, coming in this week around about Wednesday for New Zealand. That's what happens in between sort of these different lows. Every now and then, one comes up with a southerly. So let's take a look at rainfall this week. Most of it is westerly leaning. So 10 to 20 millimetres along that western side of the North Island, 10 to 40 millimetres along the western side of the South Island. Most of that rain down around Fiordland. Over on the eastern side, the greens and the blues, bottom of the scale, a couple of showers for you spilling over. We've got a bit of snow, mostly falling in the same places that it fell last week. And not as much either, but mostly up around the mountains and a little bit coming in around northern Southland and coastal Otago, down to maybe 100 or 200 metres. We'll have to double check that in a day or two, but that is the current outlook. Nothing too serious, but for farmers, a little annoying. For ski fields, pretty good news. And a little bit of snow for the North Island as well, maybe impacting the desert road for a time. We've also got a little bit of rain in Australia, mostly with that westerly down around the southern coastline and obviously on the western half of Tasmania, but the southeasterly flow to the north, bringing in a few showers around Cairns as well. So let's get into the forecast. You can see those showers up there around Cairns, and you can see the windy westerly over Tasmania and coming into the North Island of New Zealand. Not as windy for the South Island, and with that low nearby, actually still a southerly, or a southwesterly or a southeasterly, depends on where you are, but southerly winds on this eastern side will gradually tilt more southwest as the day wears on. Now by Wednesday, in comes that southerly. So I was saying the lows down here in the Southern Ocean, every now and then will line up, bringing in a southerly. That's what you see here. Won't take long before that westerly bulldozer comes in again, but Wednesday's a cold day for the South Island and becomes colder for the North Island into the afternoon and nighttime and through till Thursday morning. By Thursday morning, most of that rain and snow has cleared up around the South Island, so it is very short-lived, and the winds turn westerly. So it'll be a cold 24 hours, and then the temperature starts to go back up again. The North Island snow flurries around Central Plateau on Thursday morning, and that low pressure zone still out to the east, unsettled for the Chatham Islands, and a southerly change moves up that eastern coastline, whereas it's a windy westerly flow carrying on in Australia. So by the end of the week, Friday sees a southwesterly around New Zealand with a few showers. Basically classic mid-July weather for New Zealand. And over in Australia, it's actually a milder nor'wester. There is a cold front in there though that'll bring in some rain or showers thanks to that huge storm down near Antarctica. And that's where it stays, down near Antarctica. It weakens a little bit on Saturday, and we've got high pressure spreading out from Aussie. Long weekend in New Zealand. Good to see a little bit of high pressure in there, but there are going to be some showers around as well. We'll have a longer range forecast for the long weekend coming out tomorrow, Tuesday. That's all from me for today, though. We'll see you again tomorrow.